Welcome to a city that thinks in slopes. Hello again, and welcome to the map narration of Dunedin, another episode by Maps&Locations.com. Hope you like it. This is Dunedin, and before we even read a single street name, the map already tells us something important. The city was not built on flat land, it was negotiated with the land. Every curve, every angled intersection, every street that seems to politely dodge another street in Dunedin saying, "We tried, but the hill said no." Let's zoom in and see how this place actually works. So, zooming in, just enough. The street grid that gave up halfway. Yeah, it's funny. At first glance, you see a grid, as you can see, a grid of roads. Streets like George Street, King Street, Hanover Street, and Albany Street suggest order. I think they're clearly visible on the map, aren't they? Ambition and colonial confidence. These are the things that they suggest. And then the grid starts slipping. Streets bend. Intersections skew. The right angles quietly become suggestions. This is what happens when a European grid system meets New Zealand terrain and neither fully wins. The result is a polite grid, and that tries very hard but knows its limits. George Street thinks it's the main character, no, because it's running from north to south. Let's talk about George Street now. Every city has one street that believes it is essential to the plot. In Dunedin, George Street is that street. It collects traffic, shops, people, and responsibility and acts as the spine everything else leans on. Side streets feed it into it like supporting actors. Some join confidently, others arrive at odd angles as if unsure they were invited. This is like a party where every street is being considered as a party member. And if you're lost in Dunedin, the map gently whispers, just find George Street, you'll be fine. Because of it being the main character, because of it being the main street in this particular area which is called Dunedin. Dundas, St. David, and the academic vibe. Now look at Dundas Street and St. David Street. These streets run east to west and immediately feel different. The names are older, more formal, and the spacing feels calmer. This is where the city shifts tone. You are entering an academic and institutional zone. The roads slow down, the blocks feel deliberate, the map stops being commercial and starts being thoughtful. Maps usually do this quietly. They change personality without announcing it. And Dunedin, and this map in particular, is doing exactly that. Now let's breathe, because let's talk about Logan Park and where the map finally exhales. Well, there's something about parks that makes you just want to relax and breathe out and breathe in the most calming manner ever. To the right, the color changes and the lines retreat, as you can see here. Let me zoom in on the Logan Park. This is green space, and welcome to Logan Park. Doing exactly what green space is supposed to do. It breaks density, it absorbs movement, it gives the city a pause. Notice how roads curve around it instead of cutting through? This tells you this park was protected intentionally. The city decided this space mattered more than a shortcut. On the map, this is where the noise drops. Now, let's talk about water because it changes everything without being loud, even though there are no water bodies in this map. However, let your eyes follow the lighter shapes and open areas near the parks. This is how lying land shaped by water. This is how low lying land shaped by water. This is low lying land shaped by water. Yeah. Even when water is not aggressively visible, it influences everything. As you can see that these lines that are going through these parks, they are not colored by they're not colored as water is supposed to be colored, but they represent ways where water flows. You can tell because the streets here are wider, flatter, and less stubborn. The map becomes cooperative. Water does not need labels to leave fingerprints. The botanic gardens or the controlled chaos. Let's move upwards to botanic gardens. Up towards the top, you find the Dunedin Botanic Garden. Here the geometry changes again. Paths curve for pleasure, not efficiency. Roads differ. This is landscape design stepping in and saying, we are not here to move cars. On a map, gardens are a signal. They say this part of the city values experience over speed, and the streets listen. What this map is really showing you. This map is not about navigation, it is about compromise. Roads negotiate with hills, grids bend instead of breaking, parks interrupt efficiency on purpose, Main Street carry the burden so neighborhoods can relax. We're talking about George Street here. Dunedin is a city that adapted rather than dominated, and the map remembers every negotiation. A city you can read by its streets. Some maps shout, this one explains itself quietly. Dunedin does not overwhelm you with symmetry or spectacle. It invites you to notice how streets behave, how green space is respected, and how water and elevation guide decisions behind the scenes. This is a map that rewards curiosity, and like the city itself, the more you wander, the more sense it makes. And for those of you who are wondering where is Dunedin, well, Dunedin is a city in South Island, New Zealand. And that's it for this map narrative. Thank you for watching another custom map narrative by Maps&Locations.com. There are so many others that I have created in the past that I think you might not have watched. And if you have watched, thank you. And keep looking out for more because I'm going to be creating more and more of these map narratives. And hope you like them. And if you like them, like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you want a custom map developed, just like this or even a better one for your business or personal needs, reach out to mapsandlocations.com and we'll help you craft the perfect map for your desires. Thank you for watching again and look out for the next one.